submitted a photo using Campbell Camera's gear. We had a contest on Facebook, you guys did, and I was very fortunate. I was able to win the school on a number of votes on my Facebook, and it was actually for next year's school in 2012, and I was getting ready to go on an elk hunt in September. This was in August. I think on August 15th, announced the winner. The school was on the 19th. I was able to line up an airline ticket on Southwest Airlines. I had some free points. Was able to fly here free. Called you guys, made sure it was all right that I could come here instead of 2012. Came out to the camera school, got to meet all you guys, and had a great time at the school. Learned a ton of stuff, and it got me motivated to come out here and enter the Campbell's Outdoor Challenge. And that started 4 months ago, and look where I am today. Well, we're Team Rough Country, and we're from New Mexico. And we have Coos whitetail there, nothing like what you have here, totally different, type of whitetail. We're used to hunting bear, mule deer, elk, and it's all spot and stock. Yeah. It's on the ground. We don't have whitetail here, like you have here, so we're not used to this type of setting. We don't hunt at a tree stand, so for us, this is the first for us to set up and have to actually hunt out of a tree stand. Yeah. It's funny, we just came back from a hunt in Colorado, and we hunted for 14 days, and we walked up and down the steep, 10,000 elevation, and to us, I don't know about Art, but my knees hurt worse sitting in the tree stand than walking all day. So it's definitely unique. It has its own opportunities, and we hope that one presents itself so we can maybe have a little different perspective. But as of right now, we want to jump down and start walking on the ground, but there's no way to be quiet in all these leaves, so we're just gonna have to be patient. And we have sat ground blinds for 12 hours at a time to hunt antelope or elk on a water hole. So we have the patience. Just it's not something that we normally do. So.
What do you guys have planned for some of the other production elements? Do you have any plans at all?
We do. We have a lot of plans, actually. The ones that we're turning in tonight, we came up with some really creative ideas here of the local lodge. And we have 2 that are done inside and 1 that's done outside. And we use some creative lighting techniques for the one inside. And I think people will be surprised what we came up with on that one. So that one's pretty cool. And our logo shots, we got some really cool stuff that we're going to do tomorrow.
We're gonna get panned out, to the works. So. See how that goes.
You guys, where are you hunting tomorrow morning?
We're going to go back to the same place. Yeah. We've got everything set up. Everything's still in the tree. We're going to hunt it till noon, and then we're going to make a decision to around noon or so if we haven't seen anything, whether we're going to stay there since the bad weather's coming. We really wanted to go hunt the hill, and we're probably going to move to there, especially they just cut some corn just south of that tree stand. And we think that now that they've cut that corn, they have nowhere to hide. You got that cut corn. I think they're going to be back, where the tree stands are set up. So we're hoping that that's the case. But we're going to go ahead and stick it out at least till noon tomorrow, maybe all day, and then the following day move. Yeah. Well, morning was pretty slow actually. Yeah. As soon as we parked the truck, we were walking in the dark, and we didn't get maybe 60, 70 yards, and we probably busted 10 to 15 deer that were out in our trail, our path, 5:30 in the morning. And lo and behold, there's like 10 or 15 more right on our trail, right to our tree stand. Matter of fact, they're right under our tree stand. So we busted deer all morning until we got in our stand. We sat in our stand till about 11:30, and we didn't see any deer this morning. We headed back, got to the truck, and took our packs off and opened up the back of the truck. We're parked right next to the edge of the road, and Art hollers at me, and I'll let you tell him, Art. Tell him what happened.
It's just, that was like you were saying, we were there, got everything unloaded, all our equipment in the truck, and he was digging for something in his backpack, and I was just off the side of the road looking at something, and here it comes, a nice buck.
Big old rack, nice, probably 10, at least a 10-pointer, good sized buck, over probably 140, 150. Comes down, as soon as I see him, like he sees us, and he just stops in his tracks and just pivots, and he is gone. So we're sitting in the tree stand, and we wait 4 hours, and the deer comes to our truck. I think tomorrow we're just going to park in the truck and listen to some music and see what happens.
It wouldn't be the first time someone's hunted from the truck.
Yeah.
So, did y'all see any decoys today? I mean, deer?
Both. We saw both. Absolutely, we saw both. We decided we were hunting from the ground. We were going to be different and try something different. So we got down to where we had saw this nice buck yesterday and walked this fence line as we were walking up it early this morning. Daybreak, sun's barely coming up, just got enough shooting light. And I spot a tail end of a deer and get an arrow knocked, and Art's behind me, and we're communicating, and we're trying to wait to see for it, which way it's going to move or which way it's headed, and I don't see it moving. It's just not moving yet. So I'm stuck in the position with an arrow knock like this for like 30 minutes or 20 minutes probably. I don't know how long it was. So finally I told Art, we're gonna move. We're gonna sneak quietly and stay behind me and see if we can get a shot at the deer. So we get up and we get about 20 more yards, and I'm holding my bow and I grab my binos and I look through it, and I just noticed it only has one set of horn, one horn on one side, and that's when I remember from the camera school. That's the decoy from the camera school that they have set up for practicing. And we just started laughing, and it was pretty comical. We had a good giggle there for a minute, and then it was back to hunting it up, and went and sat a pond this afternoon and sat there from about 1. We didn't come in. We stayed out all day, and we sat out there, and we had a nice 8-pointer came in about 60 yards. Not a shooter, though, but nice buck. He came down about 60 yards, and the wind was really bad today. Man,
it was swirly everywhere. I mean, it'd be blowing this way one minute, and the next it'd be blowing right back into the deer. So the buck came down, and you could tell he knew something was wrong. The wind changed direction, and he just looked around for about 10 minutes and didn't move. And then finally, and he was a real deer because I did see him move, just so you know. And we watched him walk off, and then about 30, 40 minutes later, a group of does came in, and they started blowing. They winded us, and weren't sure what we were, though, because they were looking, but they were just blowing and stomping their feet, and they hung out for quite a while.
Yeah, they'd take off, walk off, then come back. They wanted water, and that went on for about 30, 40 minutes, and finally they walked off and got it kind of out of sight, and we decided to head back to the truck. And we had a good day. It was just tough because of the wind.
Yeah.
But tomorrow we got to get back in the tree and do what we're supposed to. We tried to use some of our tactics from the way we hunt, and it probably would have worked out a little better had it not been so windy. It's kind of hard to keep the wind in your favor when it's changing every 2 seconds. Yeah, it's funny that it was the first thing I called my guide, Chops. Well, I didn't call him. He had texted me to see if we had seen anything about halfway through the day, and I told him what we had saw, and he just laughed. He thought it was the greatest thing. As soon as I got back, people started razzing me right away, so I knew I was in for it.
Yeah, we had cameras right away waiting for us to roll up.
Yeah. You guys still optimistic?
Oh yeah, still got hunting days left, man.
We got a
change
day,
just like that.
We got a day and a half. We just need 5 seconds of a deer under our stand, and it could all end for him and all win for us.
It's like this guy always says, man. It's just like turning on a light switch. One day it's nothing, and the next thing, boom, it's on just like that.
And it can happen just like that at any time with hunting. That's the beauty of hunting. That's why it's hunting. Hey, we're optimistic. We're having a great time. We met a lot of really cool people here, interacting with other hunters from across the country, and it's pretty neat to meet different people and see what their ideas are. And, you meet people with different accents and comical. You meet comedians, and there's all walks of life here, man. It's a great place to be, and having a good time in the lodge and trying to fit in some hunting and some filming on top.
Alrighty, so you guys hunting in the morning?
Yeah, we're hunting, but it should already be dead. God willing, we
hopefully
we can walk about 100 yards from our stand and pick up our deer.
Yeah.
So tell me what happened. Take me through the.
Well, we sat in the ground blind this morning, and at about 12 o'clock we got out of the ground blind and decided that we were going to go do one of our production shots for the day in town, which was a time lapse. And we finished the time lapse. We came back. We met with our guides, and we told them we wanted to move and try to go to the different stand location. What's the name of it, Art?
Square
Woods. And try it out. We hadn't hunted it. This is day 5. We hadn't even been in there, and we hadn't seen what we wanted to see, so we thought we'd give it a shot, but we weren't sure where it was. So the guides jumped in the truck, and we followed the other one, and we went over there and got out of the truck, got everything on, and Chops showed us the way. When we got to where the red flagging was, he turned around and came back, and Art and I continued. Shoot, well, how far did we get, Art?
I kid you not, probably 40 yards.
40 yards. We got about 40 yards.
We're walking into it, and I think it's the buck that we're hunting for in the morning. We bumped him. He jumps up and
about 60 yards from us as we're walking on the red tapes on the way into the tree stand because we were following the tapes. All of a sudden I hear Art, and to my side, about 40 to 50 yards, this buck jumps up out of the grass. It just lightly bounces real slow. It didn't really bolt off, not too scared, just kind of...
No, yeah, he was just kind of like, bothered that we were in his area.
So he took off, so we got kind of excited with that, and got just Art was carrying the third arm over his shoulder and had the camera here and kind of just held it up and maybe got some footage of him just running off real quick. And we got in the tree stand, and we weren't there, 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
20 minutes, bro.
And a little doe came under the stand about 20 yards and fed and was there for a long time and walked off. Yeah. About 45 minutes to an hour later, I hear Art tells me, hey, there's a doe. And they had come from the side that he was on, his side of the tree. So And the wind was blowing perfect. It was blowing right in his face.
Right in our face.
And I told Art, if you can, get up as soon as you can, get ready, because there might be a buck with them. And a few minutes passed, maybe a minute or so, and then all of a sudden here, Art, he says, hey, there's a buck. But he says it so nonchalantly, like, hey, there's a buck. And I'm like, okay, what is it, like a little forky or something?
Well, at first I couldn't really tell because all I could see was 2 forks in the trees. You know, I could see him kind of walking, and so I was like, hey, there's a buck. And so we kept watching him just so he could get ready for it. And so I was watching him. I'm trying to find him into the screen on the camera there, and I watched him come out, and boom, he was a nice. Well, what are you trying to do?
10, 11 pointer.
Yeah.
He came out, and he was following a couple does, and he got hung up at about 25 yards behind a tree where I couldn't shoot, and he just was rubbing his antlers. He put on a good 2 or 3 minute show of antler rubbing, and he did some grunting.
Some grunts, yeah.
And it was really cool. And finally he came in, and about 10 yards, I gave him a shot and hit him, and it looked like the liver. And he gave a double kick, and he just bolted. He ran about 60 yards and stopped, kind of hunched up, and looked like he was ready to expire at any second. And I thought he dropped it one time, but I looked at the binoculars and I realized that he just kind of he was stumbling, but he hadn't fallen yet.
No, yeah, he kind of moved off behind some dead logs there, and then stood there. And you could see him breathing real heavy, and his back legs were quivering real bad. So I think tomorrow morning that's where we're gonna find him. It's right there where we left him.
Yeah, it was about 30 to 45 minutes before dark. So as soon as we got done, kind of celebrating quietly so we wouldn't scare him off, because there was a spike and a doe still about 45 yards from the stand, didn't run off. We decided that we just kind of stay quiet, waited till it got dark, climbed out of the tree, retrieved the arrow, did a quick interview with the arrow quietly, talking about the flashing knock because I shoot Luminox, and looking at the blood on the arrow, and we just got straight out of there and came back. We reviewed the footage, and it looks like a liver shot, and we're going to go back in the morning. We didn't want to push him, and obviously it was dark, so we decided we're just going to give it a shot first thing in the morning. And if all goes well, we'll have a buck on the ground, and we'll have some horns in the truck tomorrow, hopefully by 8 o'clock. All right, it's day 6 here at the Campbell's Outdoor Challenge. We're here in Carmine, Illinois, and last night, right before dark, shot a nice buck, and we came back to the lodge, reviewed the footage. We thought it would be the best thing just to let him sit. It's morning time now, and we're going to drink our cup of coffee. We're going to head out with our guides and the folks here from Campbell's, and we're going to get out and find my buck, God willing, and put my hands on those horns and have a big smile and get him in here. So we're super excited about the opportunity we've had here, and last night was great, and hopefully this morning is continuation of last night. Stay tuned and let's see what happens.
Yeah! Yeah! Thank you, God! These are tears of excitement and joy, buddy.
Congratulations, man.
Beautiful. Man, I love it, man. I'm so excited right now. Good job, man. My first whitetail. So excited. Thank you, guys. Whew. Emotions are high. Whew. Man. I thought we were gonna lose him. Nothing more than I hate wounding an animal. We walked for a good, man, give me a second here. We walked for a good 45 minutes to an hour. I think we found blood 3 times. This is probably, as a crow flies, maybe 250 yards from where we shot him, or where I shot him. And when we weren't finding any blood, man, I was starting to get pretty disappointed, and I was at an all-time low. But
all I gotta say is, Campbell, Illinois Whitetails. My cameraman, we did it.
Job again, man.
Chops, thank you, man.